Okay, welcome to another episode of All Astrology. My name is G, and today is 12/12/2019. Now, 12/12/2019 represents a couple of things. First and foremost, it is the full moon, 20 degrees Gemini. You want to know where this is in your chart so you understand where in your life things are coming to a closure. That's what the full moon represents. Remember, folks, this is the last full moon of a decade. That's crazy. The last full moon of this decade. And it is no strange thing that it's in Gemini, the dual sign, right? Major dualities occur in that sign. Now, there's quite a few signs in the chart in astrology where duality is present. Actually, if you think about it, all of us, each and every one of us, has Gemini somewhere in our life, somewhere in our chart, right? There's a bucket, right? An area of our life, a category, which Gemini exists in. So knowing where that is, then you have a better idea of, am I dual in that area of my life? Like, is there something about myself that I see very plainly that I'm really aware of? And is there a shadow side, so to speak, of me that's maybe equally as strong, but others see it and I don't? That could be a real thing for you. I know it was a real thing for me. It took me many years to see the Gemini part of myself because I have 0 planets in Gemini. But that doesn't matter. When you look at your chart, if you have your own chart, it doesn't matter whether you have a planet there visibly that you can see or not, because in essence, every location on that chart, believe it or not, whether you can see a physical planet, truly does have a planet there, right? You can call it an invisible planet, but either way, it has a ruler of that location, and it is that ruler that then helps you to understand how that energy will express in that area of your life. I know that's going a little too deep for right now, so I'm just going to save it for another time, another video. But for right now, this is a Gemini Ascendant video, okay? So if you are Gemini rising, you want to stay tuned, listen to this whole reading, because I am also going to attach a free reading to this, but I first wanted to just go over some of the general basic understandings of the current energy, the current frequency grid that we're dealing with, which is the 12/12 energy. What the hell is that, right? It's another time where some downloads come in. Think about it this way. It's really kind of simple. We have a couple of planets. We've got, I'm sorry, is it? Yeah. All right, 3 actually. You've got Venus, and you've got Saturn, and you've got Pluto, all sitting at a table having a meeting. Each one has a cup of coffee and they're talking. Venus is talking to them, saying to each one of them about what she values. And Venus is a mature Venus because this is a corporate meeting she's at. She's been educated, all right? She's sitting down. She knows how to talk. She knows how to express clearly. She gets to the point and she says, listen, this is what I need. This is what I need from you. This is what I'm willing to give. Venus is real clear here, okay? And Saturn and Pluto, Saturn states its boundaries and says, hey, you know, I don't know about all that. We've always done things this way, right? Venus is younger, and it's like, I don't know if we want to, we're kind of concerned because, well, we've always done things this way. We've had this structure set up. Saturn's very disciplined, okay? It's always like, this is the way we've always done it. It's been tried and tested. That's Saturn. Pluto, on the other hand, has been in this same area for 13 years in Capricorn. And Pluto came into Capricorn saying, we need to change. We need to transform everything. And I'm coming in. I am the rotor-rooter of the zodiac. I'm ripping shit out by the root and throwing it out, and we're going to see what grows, okay? So that's Pluto. So it's a very interesting setup we have. We have one who's not going to let go, likes things the way they were. We have one who says, oh, no, I came here to transform. And they have one in the middle who's like, but this is what I want going forward because this is what's important to me. So you would want to know where this happens in your life. This is huge. This is a very big thing. So for Gemini Ascendant, Gemini Risings, this happens in your 8th house. The 8th house is how you share your energy, okay? This is the house of Scorpio. It is how we merge our energy. It is the house of intimate bonding, okay? Lots of people think that it has to be physically bonded. It doesn't. Money, right? It's how you merge your energy, all right? Money is a form of energy. okay? The time you spend with somebody is a form of your energy, your intent with somebody, what you do with somebody. A lot of people, it's just, shared resources, right? Marriage or business partnerships, shared resources, okay? So Pluto's been there, been changing that, been changing business, been changing how we do business because it's in Capricorn, which is big business structures too. Things that have been long-standing structures within a society. Religions, okay? Business and religion, right? Things people kill each other over, right? People will fight and defend. Now, Jupiter just entered that area, just slipped into the 8th house, okay? So what does that mean? Jupiter is all about let's take action. Let's do. We've talked about it. We put it in writing. We talked, we discussed, we planned, we mapped, and now we're going to take action. That's Jupiter. Jupiter says, let's do it. We're ready to go. Enough talking. Let's take action. Okay? So in the same house, yes, we've got Venus, we've got Pluto, and we've got Saturn who are sitting at a table, but Jupiter just entered. Jupiter isn't with them yet. Jupiter's going to join the party later on. And when Venus leaves, that's when Jupiter kind of slips in. Okay? Now, Jupiter is very expansive, very big, tends to miss the details. However, in Capricorn, Jupiter is a bit restricted. It's kind of forced to compromise in a sense because it's in Capricorn, and Capricorn ruled by Saturn, right? Saturn is the structures, all the things I told you about Saturn earlier. So now Jupiter has to come into there and has to be like, okay, that's that meeting going on in that room, but they're only going to let me in if I'm dressed according to their rules. Right? So Jupiter can still enter the meeting, but he's got to go and he's got to understand what the rules are before he gets in. He's got to be dressed appropriately. Okay? He has to come in with an agenda. And if it doesn't include some details, they're going to supply the details for him. So Jupiter's like, okay, wait a minute. I can't be all crazy and explosive. I've got to just come in with a little bit more details than usual. I have to be toned down a little bit. And so Jupiter is a bit toned down here. Okay? Jupiter does still have a benefit to it. It's receiving a sweet trine from Uranus and Taurus, Earth. And Jupiter being right now in Capricorn, Earth means trine, meaning adds ease. Okay, so this is beneficial. Now, I'm going to do a reading, okay? The whole time I've been talking to myself? No, I'm here. Good. So I'm going to do this reading, and I'm going to give out a birth... Oh, wait, before I do that, All Astrology, where we give out one free subscriber, high-quality reading. It is 100% legit. It is not computer generated. All you have to do is keep listening, and I'm going to tell you how to get your free subscriber reading. Okay? So one more thing I want to talk about the current energy before I go ahead and give out birth info for this reading is that this change we're coming upon, okay, this is a taste. This is a taste of what all of 2020 is going to be about, folks. This is going to be big. Okay, we're going to see major changes. And we kind of already see things happening, right? Things behind churches, right? Things that are happening behind closed doors. Our awareness has been raised of things that were occurring. Not that we weren't aware to some degree, but things are becoming floating up more to the surface than before, especially things behind closed doors in business, back door, back behind the door room. Anyway, my words. Backdoor deals. How's that? Things going on in the back room where I told you one thing and then I go in the back room and I tell somebody else and it completely undermines what we just discussed because then the whole time I'm trying to mislead you, right? It's that kind of stuff. It's abuse of power is what it is. And so Saturn and Pluto together say, you know what, no more of that. And so we're going to see 2020 unfold. And so you're going to hear me say the word eclipses throughout this reading, and this is going to be important. I also want you to keep in mind that if you are a Gemini rising, not only can this be your Gemini rising sign, but this can be used for your Gemini sun and a Gemini moon. If you're a Gemini moon and you're listening to this video, that means when I talk about the stuff affecting the Gemini first house and the angles and the squares to Gemini, okay, pay attention to the degrees because you're going to want to know, hey, if I know what my degrees of my moon are, then I know this is squaring that, okay? Also, it's emotions. Anytime if you're listening for your moon, it's about your inner emotional world. It's about your emotional security, okay? If you're listening for your sun sign, all right, if you're a Gemini sun, it's all about your willpower. It's your vitality. It's your physical strength. It's your sun. Okay, it's where you shine. All right, our sun is our heart energy. Okay, it's like our divine spark within us. But there's a large degree of our free will involved with that. Okay, will. It's our willpower. All right. So if I say trines or squares, then you know, okay, if this is to my sun, you know how what part of you. It's going to be either squaring your sun or trining. It's going to be either adding ease or adding stress, right? And we all want to know about that. Okay, so if you go ahead and you want the free reading, all you got to do is go down below and comment your birth info, okay? Just press in your digits and I'll hook you up. It's a good idea to tap the bell because if I need more information, if I need to get in touch with you, I cannot do the reading unless you give me the additional information that I need. So do yourself a favor, tap that bell so that if I have a question, I can communicate with you. All right? All right, let's get to the deal here. Let's get to the business. The business is October 17th, 2002, 8:03 p.m. And this is Mishawaka, Indiana. I hope I said that right. Mishawaka, Indiana. October 17th, 2002, 8:03 p.m., Mishawaka, Indiana. All right, you are a Gemini Ascendant. So duality. I got to talk about the duality in you just for a little bit because this is relevant in a big way for you because your North Node is right on your Ascendant. Okay, so at this time, think about this. Gemini's over here and Sagittarius is over here. Gemini is how I think. Sagittarius is, this is what I believe. I'm done thinking about it. I believe this. So this is what I think is on your Ascendant, which is self. What I believe, significant one-on-one relationships. What do you think about significant one-on-one relationships? What is your, it's not just think, it's what you believe. You have very definite ideas about what you believe in significant one-on-one relationships. And those could be areas of partnerships as in business. They can be in areas of partners as in let's get married. It can also be partnerships involved with anybody that you consult with. So like a doctor or a therapist, you know, on any degree, whether it's physical therapy, but whatever kind of therapy, or anybody that you do any consulting with. So it could be business consultants as well. Anybody that you consult with, that you're paying, that you're saying, hey, you're letting them dip into a part of your life and you're paying them, okay? Finance consultants, right? This is very personal stuff. So, and you're trusting them. That's the whole point. There's a degree of trust that's established. You have very, very clear ideas about that. However, in this house of one-on-one relationships, your 7th house, where you have Sagittarius, you have Pluto there. Pluto is all about deep dives, okay? So for you, for your life, any sort of deep relationships you have, they're going to be transformational, okay? You're not going to be the kind of person where you're going to have relationships that are one-on-one, that are going to be like these surfacey type of things. Now, I'm not saying you can't have friends where they're like acquaintances, because you do that. But what I'm saying is, if you commit to somebody in a degree where you have a contract or you pay them, right, because you're willing to sit down with a consultation, it's going to be something you're going to get a heck of a lot out of, always. You're always going to hook up with people where they are somehow deeply transformational for you and for them, okay? This is the kind of human you are. This is how you came in. This is your energetic frequency grid that I'm looking at, okay? Let's move on. Okay, the full moon we just had, you don't have any planets on that, but it does have everything to do with yourself, what you think about yourself, who you are. Think about the duality of you, okay? And the opposite side, which is my beliefs. Okay, so my beliefs, which includes me in relating with others. The duality of a Gemini, I talked about that at the beginning, and the duality of it is there can be things of our personality, these other sides. We don't have to be shadow sides either. Okay, there can be a side of you that likes to be really social, and then there can be this other side of you that likes to have alone and quiet time. But there may be things that are so contrast that you might not think they're part of you. They might be so different. You're like, oh no, I'm not really like, that's not me. And you may come to find out because you're a youngster. You may come to find out as time goes on that you're going to see a little bit more of that in you, okay? The goal of a North Node Gemini is it's all about the thinking and the belief, okay? That whatever I think has to, you like variety, first of all, and that's a really cool thing. You're going to be a very business-minded person, all right? You like to teach, right? It's going to be like, I'm the teacher. Yeah. You like to learn. You like learning, all right? This is going to be huge for you, and that's great because people who can keep on learning are always fresh, all right? Fresh meaning there's variety. It's like the spice of life. It makes it fun, and fun is huge for you. You like to have fun. You've got Leo in the 4th house. You've got Jupiter there. Having a good time. Love to laugh, right? Especially at home. You like to laugh, right? That's going to be important. Entertainment, right? Whether it's shows, whether it's musicals, videos, movies, shows in general. Entertainment. Okay, entertainment's going to be a big deal. You might be considered a risk taker. Okay, you might be considered a risk taker in relationships, significant one-on-one relationships. You have a lot of energy there. Now, let's go to the download of information. The download, the 12-12 downloads happening in your 9th house. Now, this is important because your 9th house, like I was trying to explain earlier, is actually, it lines up with your 7th house of beliefs. That's what our 9th house is. It's our beliefs. But yours is more specifically going to be my work, my beliefs about my work. What do I want to do for work? What do I want to do for a living? How do I want to be acknowledged and recognized? What are my highest hopes, goals, and aspirations? Okay? Your work, your career, you don't have planets at this point, but the natal stuff, the transiting stuff that's going through there, it forces all of us to take a look at what's going on in our life. And are we doing the work we came to do? And that's what this is about. Are you doing the work you came to do? Do the work that you want to do. I want you to really hold on to this thought, okay? This is important because we have an eclipse coming up, and it's like on Christmas Day, depending upon where you live, on the 25th or the 26th. This eclipse, what all it means is you have to let something go in order to bring something new in. And it has everything to do with your work, okay? Has everything to do with your work. This is where it happens. But more importantly, it happens right exactly on your Chiron, which tells me you are already experiencing this energy. Eclipse energy we feel before the eclipse comes if we have a planet or a point that's exact. And you, my friend, you do. It is your Chiron. You have a 4 degrees Chiron in Capricorn, okay? So you have certain deep-rooted attachments, I'll say, connections to what you want to be recognized and acknowledged for in terms of work, okay? What you believe work should be, the whole relationship and how you relate to it, how you share work with others. That's going to be really important to you. And since it's a Chiron thing, it is something that right now in your life, I see you have a T-square, okay? A T-square means you're getting a square over here and a square from down here, all right? It sets up this T thing happening. And it's coming, you're being challenged, and there's being stress. It's coming from friendships, okay? And it's coming from people you are in a committed one-on-one relationship. It looks like a lot of masculine energy, actually, where you're being challenged. And it's challenging you. It's challenging how you are, how you see yourself in a job, in what you do, in what you want to be recognized and acknowledged for. You're being challenged by it. Doesn't mean it's wrong, all right? Doesn't mean you have to back down. It just means accept that some people aren't going to agree with you. But now, when the eclipse time comes, Jupiter is going to give you a little bit of support because it's also going to be receiving a sweet trine from Uranus, okay? Support meaning it'll balance out the opposition. It'll balance out the stress, okay? And now that balance will come, like I said, probably you'll feel friction, you'll feel stress, you'll feel tension around the holidays. We all do. It's in significant relationships and it's in friendships, okay? And they're stressing work. They're connected with work, all right? Now I'm going to move to January for you, I'm going to take a peek at your January. January 12th is the next eclipse. It's not really eclipse. I'm sorry. The eclipse is on the 10th of January. But what I wanted to do was take a peek at the 12th, because that's 2 days later. Okay. Now, you have a setup that I'm calling it, and it's going to give you stress. Yes, I know, right? Can I bear you any more wonderful news? I want people to be aware of things that are coming. I think it helps. Because quite honestly, if I only tell people about the good stuff, then people take it easy, they relax, they coast, and they figure, okay, it's not going to be so bad. That lady said this and that. And then all of a sudden, it's not nearly as spectacular as you thought it might be, because we always blow things up in our mind. And then somehow you feel like you're blindsided. And I don't want anybody feeling like they're blindsided. Now, this energy around the 10th, 11th, 12th of January, what's going to occur is it's going to put a stress on your vitality, your health, to be more specific. And it's going to be a relationship stress, all right? It literally sets up a square to your natal sun. And all that means is that it's your light, your vitality, like someone tries to blow your light out, right? They try to blow out your flame. So what do you do at this time, okay? Knowing this in advance will help, okay? Having an understanding that there's, no one's trying to attack you, but it's going to feel like an attack. It's going to feel like someone's saying, hey, no, you can't do that. It's somebody's will against your will. So what I always recommend for people is to just chill, because the planets are going to move, but there's a lot you're coming up against, and Pluto's involved. You never, ever, ever fight Pluto. Never. You just simply say, okay. Or the first thing you do, start off with, I can't give you an answer on that right now. I need time to think about it. Like, that's one of the best things to do, because then we wait till the moon moves. We wait till a few other things move until our mind gets in a stronger place. You have a strong mind because you have this Mercury ruling your ascendant. Mercury's all about how I think, right? You're a Gemini. They're very good about thinking and being able to look at the details, okay? So you have so much air. You have a lot of air. And with all that air, you can connect and get higher information. And there might be an opportunity, a time for you to just like chill and to do just that. Take like a time out where you're saying, hey, I'm going to need a little bit of time, all right? And you do what you need to do to connect and get some information. Again, it's going to be a little bit connection, a little bit of a stress on your health and your vitality, because this is in your 6th house. But you're young, you're strong. This isn't like something horrible. It's just, don't be surprised if you're feeling tired. That would be normal, right? Stress tires us out. But I also want you to realize it feels like a challenge to your belief system. And our beliefs, like, people kill over their beliefs. Now, I'm not saying this is what is going to happen. No, I don't see any completely absurd Martian. I don't see any really strong, intense energies like that, okay? Not at this time. What I want you to do is to realize you're going to be going through changes in what you believe, not only about work, but things that are about learning on a large, grand scale. So maybe learning something more at work, or having to learn more to get a different job, right? I'm not saying necessarily I see changes at a job. If there's any changes made right now at this time, it's changes that I feel strongly that if there's any changes, it's changes that you chose to take part in. But I don't, the whole energy in the eclipse thing was about letting go of something old so something new can come in. It's going to be connected to your beliefs, okay? It's going to be connected to your beliefs and learning, okay? Now, once we get to, I'm going to move on to March a little bit for you, because we're still talking about your belief systems, all right? You have, your 9th house has half Capricorn in it and half Aquarius. Now, for those still listening, this is a person who has an 8-degree Gemini on their ascendant, okay? So what it does is that ascendant and that degree sets up the rest of the houses and how big or small they are or not. And so what happens in March, Saturn actually pulls out of Capricorn and goes into Gemini. And Gemini goes into Aquarius, the other air sign, goes into Aquarius. Aquarian energy is all about friends, all about groups. So your belief systems around groups and friendships, okay? And not just groups and friendships, because Aquarian energy is also, it's very progressive energy. It's energy that's like, you know, it's information from cosmic downloads from the divine, which, by the way, you have Uranus in there. And holy crap, that's fantastic. That's a nice placement, having Uranus in Aquarius. Can probably be a little overwhelming at times as far as information coming in. But what this means for you is for the first 6 months, you're going to feel this transition happening in your belief systems around friendships. Also around the internet, because internet is represented by the sign Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius and Uranus are internet. And they're also astrology, by the way. So social media is a big part of this. And so it looks like, to me anyway, there could be a big transition. Whether it's, how do I incorporate more of social media into the brick and mortar, or do I completely get away from the brick and mortar and do an online thing, whether it's, you know, telecommunications or, you know, whatever, telecommuting, I don't know, whatever those jobs are that people have where they're not really, you know, they're like long distance, you know, they don't have to physically go into a place. They can pop on the computer and work out of the house type of stuff. Social media, very prominent here for you. So keep these things in mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Creativity is a big deal, okay? And right now, I'm going to end this reading, but right now, I forgot to mention this little thing, so I have to back up a little bit. Right now in December for you, there's this thing going on, whether it's at your work or something you do every day in a daily routine. There's this Mars and Venus energy, and it's in Scorpio, which is all about like hookup energy. So whether you are in a committed relationship, there's a lot of sexual tension going on. And sexual tension meaning you want to be physically active, sexually, physically active. This can also express as a very creative energy, because you literally have Mars sitting right on top of your Venus right now in the 6th house. So whether you encounter this in the workplace or whether you encounter this in a place that's part of your day-to-day routines, okay? But I would suggest getting physically active, go to the gym, do something, and be creative. Express creatively, because the creative energy is the creative energy. It's no different than grabbing a paintbrush, right? Sexual energy is the creative force. Okay, so learning how to use that, learning how to channel it. If you're having combativeness, if you're in a relationship, sometimes when there's a lack of getting together, right, physically, these things happen. Okay, so just understand that, and that Mars is going to keep moving. It's not going to stay there. And so this is just it's a small thing. It's not a big thing. Just to give you that, so you have that heads up. Take care of it. Let the energy express some way. Don't hold it in. So if you're not with a partner, I am not suggesting to go and look for a partner. All I'm saying is you're going to have this strong desire, these strong urges. You're going to have these passions. Channel it, okay? If you don't have somebody in your life, then channel in a different creative way. If nothing else, get physically active. All right? With that, I'm out. Bye.